Hello everyone. So okay, let's go to the first question. Under which condition will nitrogen behave most as like an ideal gas? So the answer is B. Because to behave like an ideal gas, it needs high temperature and low pressure to make the particle volume and the intermolecular force close to the ideal gas. And then we go to the this one. Which dot and cross diagram is correct for Al to Cl6? So remember that Al is non-metal and Cl is also non-metal, so A is impossible, but I don't know why I choose A. And we have to remember the octet rule and the bonding also. So this one is not correct because you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Al is not 8. Okay, so it's wrong, definitely. How about D? Is it correct? But yeah, remember that we're gonna see the AL also, okay? It's 1, 2, 3. No, AL. The correct one is C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. And this is the correct of the octet rule. And so the answer is C. We go to the next question. Well, so what is the pressure in the vessel? So we're gonna write the formula. It's PV equals nRT. Okay, so we need to find these identities. So we don't know the P, but we know the V is 2. And then we know the R is definitely 8.31. And oh sorry, I forgot the N. The N we don't know, and the T we also don't know. So how to get these? This one is not counted because we're gonna search this one. How we gonna got the mole and the temperature? So for the mole, we know it's nitrogen, and nitrogen is diatomic. So we gonna multiple it to 2. So 14 multiplied by 2 is 28. And then 1.00 divided by 28. Why? Because it's based the formula. I give you the simple is right here. Gram. This one is mole. This one is molar mass. So that's why we're gonna search for mole. So it's gram, and the 28 is the molar mass. So the equals is 0.0357. And now we find this is 0.0357. And what is the temperature? So for the temperature, we have to use Kelvin. But since this one is Celsius, we're gonna convert it into Kelvin. When we're gonna convert it to Kelvin, we have to add the Celsius, the 273 plus the Celsius. We see in the question the Celsius is 40. So it's 273 plus 40 equals to 313. So the temperature is 313. Sorry for bad talk, the bad language, because I'm not really that fluent. And then we gonna enter it, and we don't use this PV and RT, but we gonna use this P equals to nRT divided by V. We gonna use this. So let's enter the calculation that we did before. So it's 0.037 and then 8.31 and that 313 divide by 2. After we do the calculate with the calculator, the answer is 46.428. It must which statement is correct? So the statement one is wrong because uh melt or boil is endo and freeze is exo. So the statement one is wrong. For the statement two, it's correct because it takes more energy to complete overcome intermolecular forms to turn liquid to gas. And the third one, because why they are the same thing, because it has hydrogen bond. Next. 20. Wait, sorry. Sorry. All the reactant and product exothermic are gaseous. Which statement about is correct? The correct answer is B. And we go to the 21. Sodium and sulfur react together. How do the atomic radius and ionic radius of sodium compare to those of sulfur? The answer is D. Sodium is greater. Why sodium is greater? Because atomic radius decrease or across period due to increased nuclear charge. So sodium is still greater than sodium and the sulfur because this is sodium and this is sulfur and it become decreased, right? So yeah, sodium is greater. And why the ionic radius sulfur is greater? Because sodium is cation and sulfur is anion. But sulfide and ion is significantly larger than the sodium, the sodium ion. So the answer is D. Study 31. This question is about hydroxides and carbonates of magnesium and barium. Which row is correct? The correct answer is A. Why? Because in hydroxide, barium is more soluble, and in carbonate, also barium is the one who stable with greater thermal stability. And next, which statement comparing magnesium and barium or are they compounds is correct? The correct one is C because magnesium sulfate is greater the solubility than barium sulfate in water. Next, which statement is correct? The correct one is only D. Yeah, it's only one answer though. So it's strontium oxide reacts with water at room temperature to form strontium hydroxide only, or we know as SrOH2. Next. X is a group 2 element in either period 3 or period 5. XOH2 is less soluble in water than CaOH2. When XNO3 2 is heated, it decomposes. Which row is correct? The correct one is B. Why B?
go to the paper 2. In here, I'm using phone. So both carbon monoxide and nitrogen are gases at room temperature and pressure. They both behave like ideal gases under certain conditions. State the conditions necessary for these two gases to approach ideal gas behavior. So it needs high pressure and low temperature. Second, explain why nitrogen behaves more like ideal gas than CO does at 20 Celsius and 101 kilopascal. So, nitrogen is London dispersion force, which is the weakest force and closest to ideal gas conditions or no force. And nitrogen is also non-polar. And next, use relevant data booklet. Show your work. Calculate in amount in mole of pure nitrogen gas, which occupies 100 centimeter cubes and 101 kilopascal and 20 Celsius. So we use the relevant from data booklet, and this is the answer. And don't forget to change the Celsius to Kelvin. So in here it asking for mole. So mole is N equals PV RT. Why we use this? Look, PV and RT. This is mole. Wait, I'll use red. This is mole. So that's why. So and then we just enter the data booklet that we got. So it's 101 times 0.0001 centimeter cube meter cube, and then the R is from data booklet also 8.31, and it divide with any multiple by Kelvin Celsius, the Kelvin temperature 293. So we just calculated. So the answer based on the calculation is 0.00044148. So we're gonna make it to 0.00414845. So the answer is 4.50 times 10 minus 3. Next, diamond and graphite are both crystalline solids made from carbon atoms. Graphite conducts electricity. Diamond does not conduct electricity. Name the type of lattice structure present in the crystalline solid diamond and graphite. So the answer is giant covalent. Second, explain how graphite conducts electricity because it has the localized electron. And then explain why diamond does not conduct electricity because there is no delocalized delocalized electron. Okay, and then next, lithium sulfide Le2S is crystalline solid with a melting point. It conducts electricity when it's molten. Give a formula. So the formula is using ion because this is ionic compound. So Li plus. Why L plus? Because this Li is located in group 1 and S is located in group, and Si is the ion is minus. So this is the answer. Explain in terms of structure of crystalline solid why lithium sulfide has a high melting point because it's covalent bonding. bonding. Go to the number 2. Explain why the elements Na to Al are good electrical conductors because it has C of delocalized electron. And next, explain why the elements P, S, and Cl does not conduct electricity because it's simple covalent. And remember, it doesn't have, because simple covalent doesn't have the localized electron. So that's why the answer is because it's simple covalent. Next, explain why there's a large difference between melting point of S and melting points of P, S, and Cl. So, Si is giant covalent. Meanwhile, P, S, and Cl is not giant covalent, or we can say it is simple covalent. And next, explain the difference between electrical conductivity of liquid MgCl2 and liquid SeCl4. Refer to bonding and relevant particle in your answer. So the answer is MgCl. MgCl2 is ionic bonding. And SiCl4 is covalent bonding. And lastly, on this question, suggest the pH of the solution that form each chloride is added to water. MgCl is a salt, so it must be 6.5 to 7. SiCl is acid, so it can be 1 to 2. 1. Explain the trend shown in atomic radius of the period elements Na2Cl. So it's decreased because when we go to the right, the positive charge is increased. The positive charge is increased and the positive number is also increased. So the positive charge and positive charge is increased. And next, explain whether there is large difference between in the ionic radius of Al and P. So Al is losing electron. Why? Because we see that the ionic of Al is 3+. Meanwhile, P is gaining electron because it's 3-. And next, oxidation number of period 3 element. So this is +1, this is +2, +3, +4, +5. And then the pH of solution, this might be 13, and this might be 9 or 10. Okay, we gonna skip this, and this might be 1 and this might be 2. State why there is no data given in row B for Al2O3 and SiO2 because they are insoluble. Write an equation for the reaction Na2O with dilute hydrochloric acid. So Na2O plus HCl equals to NaCl plus H2O, but we're gonna check. So you see that the Na is 2, so the Na in here must be 2, the Cl is 2, so the Cl in here is 2, and it's already balanced. Next, construct an equation for the reaction Al2O3 with a base to form NaLO2. So we're gonna write the Al2O3 plus NaOH or sodium hydroxide. It became NaLO2 plus H2O. We're gonna check. So the O in here is 3 already, and then the Al is must be 2, and Al is must be 2, so we put 2 in here. So the NL must be 2, so we put the 2 in Na, and then we check again. The O, the H is 2, the O, and it's already balanced. And next, state the trend in thermal stability. It's increased because thermal stability in nitrates. Identify the other products of thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition of its NO2 plus O2. NO2 is nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So that's all for my revision for chemistry exam A or AS level 9701.